How about we rewind the clock a little and head back to the height of the PlayStation 1 era to enjoy one of the most universally loved racing games of all time. It was also the third best-selling game on the PlayStation 1 of all time. It is of course Gran Turismo 2. Hello there, I'm James from The Gaming Definition, and we've now completed no upgrade challenges on many different racing games, ranging from several Need for Speed entries, and of course Gran Turismo 4, which is another game that has made a grand resurgence in popularity over the last couple of years. Going back to Gran Turismo 2, this particular game had an astronomical selection of cars for the time, with just shy of 650 vehicles to choose from. Yes, some of them were racing variants of the standard car, but this brought about the real-life racing counterparts of many different cars and would often vastly change the look and body style of the car itself. With a firm step towards the car tuning and driving sandbox, let's answer the question: can you beat Gran Turismo 2 without upgrading any cars? The rules are pretty simple. We can't purchase any upgrades for cars, whether that be pure performance upgrades like turbo kits or air filters, transmission upgrades like flywheels, racing clutches, or customizable gearing, nor can we purchase better tyres. Essentially, everything in a tune-up shop is straight up blacklisted, even the racing modification option, even though that technically gives you a different car. As we're not going to be using any race cars at all, it's also worth mentioning that some cars come with upgrades already equipped. We can't use them either. This is going to be a purely stock car challenge, and everyone needs to remember that the AI in this game is from almost 25 years ago. So let's equally give it a chance and ourselves a challenge. Now that all of that is out of the way, let's begin our first challenge on Gran Turismo 2. Due to the fact that we'd conquered all the licenses in my most recent video, it was now time to choose a starter car. And being one of the earlier GT entries, naturally the Japanese cars were the cheapest and most efficient options to go for. Rather cheeky from Polyphony, but some true patriotism right there to be fair. In honour of my late granddad, we decided to go for the rather respectable Nissan Silvia. Oh my god, the super red. We gotta do it. This car has wicked early game potential and can enter a fair number of races. Combining reasonable engine power with solid handling, we should face little resistance in the starting races. Right, with the starter car acquired, technically we can jump straight into the World Leagues and start making progress towards the GT World Championship, but I wanted to complete the Sunday and Clubman Cup races to slap a bit of cash together for the cars we'll inevitably need moving forward. Bringing the beefy 200 horsepower Silvia to the Sunday Cup was predictably a walk in the park around Tahiti Road. I loved this track as a kid with how bright and vibrant it was, but it's a rather basic track. It reminds me a little bit of Thruxton from the UK. Later. It's just crazy. After a nice relaxing trip around Tahiti Road, it was time to enjoy another personal kiddie favourite of mine, the High Speed Ring. It makes sense for this to be one of my favourite tracks as a kid due to its simplicity. I wasn't very good at courses that required a lot of braking back then, so it all adds up. However, in this race right here, the competition was clearly already starting to ramp up, but it's all nothing we couldn't overcome with some careful driving. Oh, dude. Now, would you look at that? This is one hell of a track. Red Rock Valley. Now, this is a personal favourite that has ascended beyond childhood. This is a favourite of mine of all time. I'm still sad it's never returned in any racing game since, and during the race we were getting hunted down by the Plymouth PT Spider. Pretty sure no other racing game out there has featured this car ever since. It's a very unique car though, so it's a bit strange that we haven't seen it again. Unfortunate as well. Same about the track. Isn't that a Plymouth up in front? Three-way battle for the lead as TGD in his super red Silvia goes up the inside.
They're closing in fast.
That is insane pace. Go away. Devious looking car as well. Look at that grin. I tried racing in the Clubman Cup so much as a kid, and I'd always take this Mazda 323 or something here. There was a long boy Mazda which I really liked, and turns out it wasn't the 323, it was actually the Mazda Protege. There was also this bad boy as well that I really liked. A little bit more powerful than the previous one, but still not amazing. I'd always get my ass kicked by the Elan. Demio with the UFO engine. back to Grindelwald. What in the Harry Potter and the Fantastic Beasts? Speaking of Fantastic Beasts, your mama called...
Smash.
I hate that I find it so funny, because I don't hate it. I find it brilliant. If anybody's going to find me funny, it's going to be me. Somebody had to. You weren't expecting that. I mean, listen, I just come out with the most random stuff. Like, this is me through and through. Just an amalgamation, combination, and compilation with the most random things that you're like, how do you even think of that? Why is that even going through your mind? Get your stinking Peugeot out my rearview mirror. Following on from the successful win at the Harry Potter spin-off course, we just had one final mad dash around the full configuration of Rome to overcome. And a mad dash it would be. Sliding the Silvia around the extended Rome course, battling in an endless tug of war with TVRs and Jaguar XKRs alike. The AI were very happy to force me out of the way and drive through me like I didn't even exist. I guess in a sense this is payback for all the times I used to knock them into the pits many years ago. They really waited 20 odd years for this, huh? Where are they from, Sleep Token? Well, we finally put the Clubman Cup to rest and now have enough cash to purchase another car for a separate national league when we're ready. Super Black. Oh, fuck's sake, why have they named this? After doubling the amount of cars we have with super colours, it was time to take a step towards the national leagues. And now that we had a slightly less powerful Silvia under our belt, we could start with the very first race. Surely it'd be a walk in the park again, right? I swear I could pick it up. Listen, put me underneath the car, let me do a press up, it will move. But in all seriousness, they are crazy small. Collecting all the super colors of the Silvia. Listen, I'm starting my Thanos gauntlet, except instead of Infinity Stones, it's super Silvias. But yeah, I'm just gonna get the Japanese races done. Oh, it's all midfield. So much for variety. I think we can do this race. Oh, this is going to be a challenge. I appreciate it. There's not that many tracks in this game, I don't think. Whoa. Really? The GT licenses, if you can get them all gold, it just essentially means that you're going to dust the AI, even with quite a power deficit. There we go. Your car might not be anywhere near as good as the AI opponents, but you can just drive it a lot better. Like, I mean, look at that. He overtakes me and puts two wheels in dirt on a straight. Whoa. As we just drive straight through him. Oh Lord, they coming. Oh Lord, they coming. Not very quickly. Nope, we're chilling. Can we beat this in the sub 200 horsepower Silvia? Oh God. We have the opponents everywhere. Look at that. I've done that. As the NSX goes wide and a little bit of a collision between the Subaru and the... Is that a Supra? Major lunge. Some contact made. I think he's going to slip back past us as we suddenly turn it into Wreckfest, but no, he's pushing me out the way. He's pushing me out the way. We're not even going to get second place. We're not even going to get a podium at this rate. No, we're going to come last. It's fifth place. It's all over. Damn. Karma hit me like a truck. Very surprising. Look how neat this car is. Just sticking to the inside of the corner. Drag race to the start-finish line. Oh no, please. There's no way. Where has that power come from on the Subaru? Madness. NSX doing the same. Holy. Oh my. Just gotta hold it till the line. Come on. Come on. Oh my god, that had to be milliseconds. 33 milliseconds. Now that we'd finished pushing the weaker variant of the Sylvia far beyond its limits, it was time to acquire some proper American muscle for the next set of races. Gran Turismo 2 has a fantastic selection of cars from the US to choose from, but unfortunately I've noticed that none of them really drive well out of a select few. We would end up finding this out the hard way after grabbing the 1982 Corvette Stingray. Lovely car, just maybe not so much in-game, sadly. Well, we wouldn't be finding out just how bad some of the American cars were in the first race. We mostly had a breeze of a time around Laguna Seca. Yeah, sure, the AI cars were already hot on my tail, only being just over a second behind, but we managed to do what we needed to do to maintain a pole position. I'm not one to judge. Oh, not with driving like that. What's that, a Ford Taurus? Far right? Yo, listen. Calm down. I know I messed up with my driving, but calm down. There's no need for that active aggression. Oh god. Sorry, my monitor turned off. Did you guys see anything happening? Because I didn't. There wasn't any action which was proof of my hypocriticalness. No, that never happens here. We never do the very thing we swore to destroy. We're not Anakin Skywalker.
I don't like sand.
You saw the splice? You didn't see anything. You didn't see the splice because it's not. Fast forward to race 2, and the PT Spider absolutely left us for dust on the final lap. No. Where's this pace come from? Oh my god. These days, I tend to opt for cars which are slightly less powerful than that of my opponents, but handle a tad better, so I can try and outdrive my opposition. Sadly, however, the Corvette in question has neither the power nor the handling to do either of those things. So we are solely relying on the incompetence of the AI in order to win here. And for once, surprisingly, the AI was doing everything right. Well, at least enough to keep me at arm's length, right? The car is quieter than the AI opponent cars. I swear Gran Turismo 2 used to have better mixing than this. Maybe it's the PAL version that has better audio mixing for the car sound. Maybe I'm just remembering it wrong. Or maybe it's just per car. Wide corkscrew. Turn! He's pushing me! So glad Pendulum started touring again. Oh my god, what am I doing? Works. Oh god. Sending it. Remember to upshift, so muscle memory doesn't get you. Held it on the road, they all go wide anyway. They don't give a damn about rules. And we clutched it, okay. Right, are we gonna be able to use this car in the third race? I don't think so. I've got a bad feeling about this. 394 brake horsepower. Oh, we're gonna get owned. It's not even like this car handles well either. At first, it would appear my bad feelings were justified. All the opponents blasted away at the start of lap 1, even with the remarkable start in mind. Referring back to what I mentioned before about the US cars being underwhelming in Gran Turismo 2, another big issue I have with many of them is the sheer lack of engine noise under any situation. Now, if you're a manual gear enjoyer like myself, you'll very likely rely on the sound of the engine to gauge what revs you're currently at, and use that information to judge whether an upshift or downshift is required. Well, with how the majority of US cars sound, in this game at least, or in this case don't sound, because it simply isn't there, good luck judging it correctly. I really do love having access to so many cars in a game this old, but you can see many corners were cut to make this all possible. Pardon the pun. Oh. A light bit of collision against the classic car. That wasn't that classic as at the time of this game releasing. Unless you count a car from 2004 as classic by the same logic. Yeah, give me a boost please, mate. Appreciate it. We're using everything we possibly can. It's not enough. Go away, Shelby. Go away, Arthur Shelby. What do I need to do to make people listen to me? Oh my god, he's fast. But then, the Gran Turismo 2 AI started to show its age. Send it! Send it! Send it! Send it! Send it! Oh god, he's coming! Oh god, he's gonna punt me! Oh no, he's sending me up! No! He pushed me out of the way! Oh man. Let me at least defend second. Oh my god, the Camaro! Send it. Send it. Here we go again. Oh, I believe. Disgustingly. Completely clean race. Completely clean. No contacts made, nothing. Right, French nationals. Is that North? Here we go. Ah yes, Fiat, French. After a few off-screen shenanigans grinding for some extra cash, we grabbed the infamous Super Touring 1998 champion winning Renault Laguna, albeit in an unupgraded Civi car configuration, but it's still rather impressive and packs a punch regardless. As we chose a car that was right at the top of the power requirements for the next race, the first race was an absolute breeze with a comfortable 2-second lead ahead of all the other French boxes. But it does seem like this track enables the AI to engage Rubberbanding overdrive. Like Sunday Cup for example, I'm 99% sure it does. You could have like a 200 brake horsepower car going up against like Daihatsu boxes. Oh god, it's a Venturi. As race 2 got underway, it genuinely seemed like we were going to be left for dust. But fortunately, my sheer racing prowess and undeniable skills behind the wheel
Clearly outplayed.
allowed me to catch up to the pack. You may believe you're witnessing the AI just simply forgetting how to drive, but I assure you this is just your eyes deceiving you. I'm just able to squeeze that much power out of this Renault Laguna. That Peugeot's rapid. The little hatchback box versus the supercar of its time, the Renault Laguna. No, stop! Please leave me alone. Oh lord, that was a major mistake. That was a mistake. We're making mistakes everywhere. No, the fellow Laguna is faster than me. We hold the inside. Might be doable. Slipstream, come on. Come on, Slipstream. No! He's zooming, no! Rest in peace. The dream. But it wasn't over yet. Here's what happened in the second attempt at this race. How do you like your pits? Never mind. Woo! If I lost this as well, I'd have been so sad. Right at the end, just getting rubber banded on. UK nationals, Italian and German. Shall we go a bit Italy? A wee bit Italy. Yeah, there we go. There's the machine. That'll do the race. Do we get the 155 for the memes? How much is it again? 147. In red? Yeah, let's do it. We're doing it. Let's do it. Is this powerful enough? Is that a Renault? Yeah, let's move face closer. That's going to clear up the PlayStation 1 graphics. Ugh. Wasn't this Italian? And there's a Renault. Or is that a hatchback Alpha? No, not that one. No, it's not a Renault, is it? It looked like a Clio, but the closer we get... No, what is it? What is it? Is that a Lancia? What is it? Yeah, Lancia. Okay. That's one I'm not very familiar with. This will make Pot Noodle happy. Let's get it in custard color. Here we go, baby. Oh, the power. The power of the custard Fiat is here to show the fellow Italian automobiles who's boss. Oh, little... Oh, it's the long course. Oh, God. Let's let him go. There we go. I mean, there's a reason Twitch held it, right? This car's actually OP, what the hell? They are keeping with me, though. Same song over and over again. Even that was too much. Oh, I just choked. I entered the race. I did nothing because this car is actually way too powerful for this race, apparently. Okay. Okay. Right. Does Vauxhall count as UK? Oh, sorry. Opel count as UK in this game? It does. It does. I actually really like the Vectras. Well, this one. Yep, you know what time it is. It's time for one of my monologues, which are loosely related to what's featured on screen, but not really the gameplay itself. I finally did a bit of research on the background of the cars and whatnot to get to the bottom of the Vauxhall Opel malarkey, and whether Vauxhall is British or not. At first I came across some claiming that this was all part of an experiment from back in the day, when Vauxhall and Opel were both sold in the UK together. British people felt like buying Vauxhall was buying and supporting British, even though the same cars were on sale. Vauxhall did used to be British, with their own homegrown selection of cars. But Vauxhall was bought out by General Motors in the mid-1920s, and then come the 1970s, Vauxhall and Opel were merged together. And nowadays, and well, for about 50 odd years, the German company Opel have been the ones in charge of taking over all designs from here on out. So yeah, my lack of car knowledge and British history in this sense is rather disturbing. But I am learning a little bit more of every single one of these challenges. Oh lord, okay. What's this like? That's too powerful. Speedrunning racing games. Yeah. I messed around speedrunning Rage Racer once, back on a YouTube live stream. Yeah. Oh, hello. My favorite Lotus Elise right there. Goodbye. This is very powerful. Oh, it handles like a brick. Oh lord. I have no bearing over what the car is doing in chase cam. It's amazing how much these tracks stayed true to form between PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2. And even on the PlayStation 3, they still resembled the same. And then along comes Gran Turismo 7 and just completely changes everything. But James, real life tracks end up changing sometimes. Look at Fuji Speedway and Monza. They're very different. Don't care. Ugh. And the slide. Lotus Esprit. They're all $349, okay. Might grab the Elise. Quite expensive though. Not that money's an issue right now. Is this powerful enough? Moment of truth. Is that it? It's a James Bond car. What was it, DB5? Can't remember exactly what number it is. Oh, this is very good. One of the best handling cars in this game so far. Jaguar XKR behind us. Almost bought one of those for about 9 grand, which is surprisingly cheap, but they're only going to go up in price. Give it time. So it would be an investment. We might lose this race actually because of my appalling driving there. Never mind. Cheeky drift as well. Well, taking the Motorsport Elise into a almost 400 brake horsepower race surprisingly leads to a relatively easy time. And then he crashes out at the final and loses. Fortunately not. So I'll get something around 216 and something around 290 and see if we can do the 400 in a underpowered car. What does Audi have in this game? I had a feeling these would be too powerful. Ugh. No. If we don't include the rare few exceptions, Gran Turismo 2 didn't have the most interesting lineup of German vehicles, at least from a personal point of view. Generally speaking, I'm not a crazy big fan of European cars in general, but the Mercedes and BMW lineup here in GT2 was rather dull. It also didn't help that Volkswagen only had the Mark IV Golf and the new Beetle to choose from. And if we have a quick look at Audi, they at least had the super touring Audi A4. I do of course understand that some of you may appreciate that some underrated cars from these manufacturers have made it into the game, but it's just not my cup of tea. But to be fair, this is partly what Gran Turismo is all about. Driving cars that you'd otherwise never even bat an eye at. Deep Forest Raceway. Seems very promising so far, as a Vauxhall Astra makes its way into Germany. Well, Opel Astra. And yeah, this game is from 1999, but we're on an emulator right now, that's why it looks so good. I wouldn't recommend... Oh wait. I'm using DuckStation as an emulator for PlayStation 1 games, and it's the best looking one I've found so far, at least compared to EPSX, I think it is. Right, how are we going to do here? 30 brake... 30 brake horsepower more. Are we going to be able to keep up with the opposition? It's already looking tougher, that's for sure. Anybody else have that, where you're just talking and somehow you break out into a completely different accent? No reason for it either, just you lose the ability to speak in your native accent. Oh, we're going to annihilate that bad boy. My car doesn't have power. Oh, we're going for it. We're going for it. The moves. He went for the lunge there. Wanted to take me out, and not to dinner either. Right, moment of truth. Can this somehow win this race? 193 brake horsepower BMW versus up to 450 brake almost. It's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good. I was trying to cut up the inside there, but I mean, we are keeping with them for the most part. Oh, bit too ambitious. That's a loss right there. Turn. 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 No, come back. Oh, we're in third. If we get this corner perfect, it might be possible. No, messed it up. Yeah, we caught them quite a lot there. Even with the mess up, it would have been a second position. So it's possible to win this race in a very underpowered car. That's what I wanted to do last round. Oh my word. I think it would have been a win. Oh, bit deep there. Something my ex-wife never said. The Audi being alongside me there, I just couldn't get the line we needed to overtake the TT. Still, it's getting close. We should be able to capitalize here. We are in a position to make a lunge once again. Not too close. Hopefully. Ah. Once again, always the backside of an Audi, man. Oh my god, this is cringe. Go. Oh, I can smell it. First position. Come on. Come on! Got to drive very defensively. Have to let the TT go because the roof is just too powerful to catch. Oh, that was a bad move. There we go. I think that's the best we've taken that. Okay. Don't you dare. Send him into the wall. Oh my god, a gap has opened up. That's going to be gone very shortly. We don't have it for very long. Who are we investing in? Hold the inside. No. They're pushing me out of the way. What happened? I just got a speed boost out of nowhere. Oh my god. I don't know what happened, but I got a speed boost. Please. Finish line. Oh my god. Oh, it's over. It's over for the video. For the sake of the video, this has taken over an hour. Oh my god. We did it though. I said we could do it. I believed. 591 brake horsepower. I want to see if the motorsport can do the Euro League. I don't think it can, but I'm curious. Apricot Hill, there's not really much cornering to make use of. But the AI is not very good around this track, so we still might be able to clutch it. Not again. Yeah, the fact that he stops me from cutting the corner like that, we'll give it one more try. Content and fine details they've added to it.
Oh no!
Hold the line. Massive time gains here.
Oh no!
Yeah, okay, no, we can't win. That's pretty good for the power. That's different to the console experience. Whoa. I'm getting ragdolled about it right now. But this car is definitely more competitive than the Elise. Oh, God. Not quite the intention, but we'll see how it plays out into the late game. Hold it. Hold it. Here we go. Looks like it's in the bag. Oh, wow. Okay. There we go. New car acquired. Out of curiosity, let's go see what it is. Castrol Supra. Okay. I am trying to be more limiting with the car selection, though, to make sure that everything is difficult, at least. Looking back in retrospect, it's hilarious seeing the struggles I intentionally put myself through, chasing the feeling of accomplishment and glory. I have plenty of cars available for use that would provide a balanced, fair enough challenge within the races on offer. But for whatever reason, I kept opting for vehicles that are so far underpowered that the races themselves become, well, like borderline torture. Finishing first after enduring these grueling self-set challenges, however, is always an amazing feeling. It just goes to show that you really can create your own enjoyment with gaming, and the GT series is perfect for that because it provides you the canvas to create your own masterpiece. Or it provides you with an empty map and allows you to fill in the pathways and routes with your own personalised journey. This is your journey, and it doesn't matter how you get to the destination. What matters is that you enjoy every step of the way and find a way to win. Much better braking zone. I'm a bit concerned how close that RUF's getting. Well, that was way too early. Did the same mistake again. That's definitely a second place here. I don't think we could have caught the Cerberus either way. 204 almost. Playing the long game out here. Let this be the one. No. That's the best lap we've... Back-to-back better laps than we've ever done on... Oh god, 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 oh god. Why are you so slow? There we go, yeah. Needed reminding, did you? Ooh. Yeah, we did not maneuver that very well, but we're in a very good position this early on in the race. No, no, I don't want him there. That's gonna mess everything up. That was the best try we've had so far. After about 5 failed attempts and coming within sniffing distance of a win, I decided it was time to grab a slightly more powerful TVR. So far in all of my playthroughs of Gran Turismo, I never found a reason to use the TVR Griffith, so it was about time to bring out a proper British classic. I don't really hear anybody talking about these cars anymore, and I mean, yeah, same with the Tuscans and Cerberus. I believe I said this in my license test video, but I'm glad TVR are still alive and kicking, and they have a new Griffith on the horizon. I better get saving if I want one in real life. No, but in all seriousness, it's one of the few rare modern cars that hasn't lost all of its character and shape. Generally speaking, I don't really like modern cars, especially not electric ones. Why are they all ugly? And that's about enough of my rambles. Let's get back to the subject at hand with the racing. Is the Griffith good enough to do the trick? Yeah, it definitely would have been overkill if we went for the Cerberus. Oh my, hello. Power. Woo, that was... Oh, okay, it's not moving. Ah! Man. Come on! Make it stick. Gonna hold the inside line so he doesn't transfer over. And ram us out the way. No, we've messed it up. The slide, man, the slide. Oh, come on. They're snoozing at the wheel this round. I had faith. They're literally snoozing at the wheel. What's going on? He's pushing me. Don't you dare do it. Move over. There we go. Okay. First position for the very first time.
They're closing in fast.
Oh gosh. Oh no. We have to be so early on the brakes compared to them. And they come in rapidly. Stop sliding, Griffith. Stop it. Being very conservative as to not cause any slides or anything crazy. They're just battling with each other right now. Yep. GG easy, apparently. I mean, sure. Sure. Back-to-back 201s. They just literally gave up. They saw me struggling back-to-back in the races, and they're like, okay, we'll give you this one. There goes the controller. Like, it's sat there. There's no reason for it to slide off, really. And it just goes. My time has come. Good day to you, friend. No, come on. Come on. No, no power. No power. No contact made, surprisingly. He's closing me off. Ooh, a little bit of contact. He's getting me back though. Oi! Get you back for that. A little bit dirty here and there, but no dirtier than they are. Well, can the 350 brake horsepower Griffith beat 591 brake horsepower monsters? With a little bit of bending the rules, in the sense of driving a little bit dirtier in the same way that AI does, but hey ho, Pacific League time. So what have we won? Wow, absolute monsters. Oh, 332 horsepower, I lied. It's weaker. 542. Grab something American maybe? Too powerful. Way too powerful. Way too powerful. Take something unorthodox maybe. I kind of want something in the 350 range. Again. You know what? Let's give it a shot. Never really used muscle cars that much. Old muscle cars that much in this game, so it'll be interesting. 384 horsepower versus what, 540? Look at that monster. Oh. Well, it has some handling so far. I'm just calling it here, to be honest. That is not going to do it. What does Ford have for us? Mustang, 224. Wait, that's actually weak. 304, 319. Ooh. This will be a bit of fun. Didn't even remember this car being in the game, so that's pretty cool. Probably because it's so expensive, I never sought it out. Whoa. What a machine. Already impressed. It's only got 5 gears? Ooh. Going a bit wide there. I love the headlights of this car. I saw one where I live. Very rare these days. Oh, okay. This car might be too good. It adheres to all of the challenge regulations, so... Well, goodbye, Viper. Thank you for the lovely race. What a beauty. What have we won? They just give us Japanese cars for prizes. I don't think we've won anything else other than Japanese vehicles. I think this is the only one so far, right? Yep, literally, that's all we're winning. Seattle. Yep, everything's normal. Definitely adheres to the challenge regulations of no upgrades. Not sure about race cars though, because they naturally come as they are as well. Like the whole plan is to not buy any upgrades, only use cars as they come. Yeah, this car is so good. No wonder it's so expensive. It's just leagues above anything in a similar rating. Miles away already. I don't believe I've used this car before in any racing game, so it's a nice surprise to see it so competitive. Although they are keeping with me, regardless of how on the attack I'm going. As we misjudge the braking zones vastly and almost get wiped out by the angry Dodge Viper. But luckily for us, we dodged it. Boom. Just too easy for the RS. Are there even any non-Japanese prize cars in this game? Do they even exist? Sorry, Mr. Mustang. I have an NSX to catch. Let me just send it. Oof. Oh, mate, the brakes are too good. Actually got competition. Still could be better on these corners. This NSX is rapid. Viper's out for blood. Right, so I'm gonna brake after the crest. Never mind. Just felt like that was a bad idea. Oh god. Sending it a bit too deep. I think we're gonna have to do a retry. Yes, we are. Don't know what's in that NSX, but it is crazy powerful. Man. Well, I know we can't mess about, so I'm gonna just try and get through the pack as quickly as possible. Massive lunge up the inside. Wiping out the RX-7 in the process. Never going to financially recover from this. Once again hunting down the Japanese Ferrari. An improvement, but it's not hard to improve on garbage. Can't quite make that stick. As we maneuver that corner the best we ever have so far in these races. We'll just let him get back past. No contact made there, but very dicey. Oh no! Oh no! I can't do it like that. I can't do that. So we can definitely brake after the crest if there's no car in front of us, but if there is one, we'll just end up sending it careering out of control. Go for the cutback. Go for the cutback. Go for the cutback. Smacked into the wall, but that's made absolutely no difference to his speed, and we still win. Only just though, but cleaner than the previous race. I couldn't win like that, you know? Anyway, that is the Pacific League done. So we just have the GT World Championship, or International. Yeah, that's the championship, isn't it? World League. Now, the hunt for a car that could beat the GT World Championship had begun. But at this moment in time of the challenge on the stream itself, I hadn't yet decided if race cars were blacklisted or not. you'll probably be pleased to hear that the viewers and I very quickly decided that this wasn't enough of a challenge, or at least it wasn't in the spirit of the challenge. So we needed to stick to a road car to do this. Now here's an interesting fact about Gran Turismo 2. Every race car in the game has the R symbol before the name, but not every car that has an R symbol before the name is a race car. That may sound odd at first. Some road cars have the R symbol next to them in the dealership and garage to specify that they are special cars, but once you get into the races themselves and look at the car lineups towards the end of each race, the R symbol disappears. It just simply isn't there. This is likely due to the fact that these cars come with upgrades already attached to the car. Not to the degree that race cars like say the Toyota GT1 or the R390 come fully kitted out as race cars, but they're not completely bog standard like a random road car that you could buy from anywhere. Initially, we went ahead and viewed these as acceptable enough to begin with after completely striking off the race cars, testing out legends like the XJ220, Elise GT1, XJR15, Cerberus Speed 12, and of course the Ford GT40 that we eventually settled on for this championship in the initial running. All of these cars, minus the GT40, could comfortably lap Trial Mountain in under 1 minute and 20 seconds, which for anyone that doesn't know, a 1:22 is pretty much good enough to beat even the best of opponents at Trial Mountain. Now, even with that in mind, some cars in the special category still require some semblance of decent driving to acquire podiums with. Well, some more than others at least. But it was still considerably apparent that they were leagues above anything else in their respective class, or otherwise of a similar nature. Just having a couple of upgrades that naturally came with the car pushed the performance values way above what a normal road car could do. The only similar exception was maybe the Ford RS200. That didn't come with any upgrades, but it was just significantly better than everything in its class. But now imagine the Ford RS200. Well, with these special cars it's like that, but on steroids that have also conveniently taken steroids as well. Steroids squared, if you will? Anyway, back to the subject at hand. This no upgrade playthrough was finished about 2.5 months ago, but the house move delayed the production of the video, and honestly I'm kinda glad it did, because I wasn't really happy with the initial ending section of this challenge. Yes, it was extremely difficult. Yes, I had to drive near to the best of my ability on a very old game, but we didn't fully stick to the nature of the challenge like I felt we could. I didn't feel like we'd covered every base. I had the feeling that there was something we were missing. It was immediately apparent that road cars were going to struggle tremendously when it came to keeping up with the AI in their crazy quick race cars. We wouldn't have the handling, and we wouldn't have ways of putting down the power efficiently. Even if we had cars with over 600 horsepower, obviously the engine upgrades weren't there to make it efficient. So even though I'd already done a hell of a lot of testing to find out that the GT40 was pretty much the best car out of all the quote-unquote special cars for this challenge, we now needed to dive deeper. We needed a standard road car, or at least a car that was unupgraded, to consistently lap low 123s around Trial Mountain. That's to even have a fighting chance to stay in championship contention. 122s would of course be the gold standard for road cars, but this is very hard to attain consistently due to the understeer and how prone to sliding road cars are. And yes, even if you get a sports car in this game, you don't get sports tyres. They remain bog standard and you will notice a vast difference. Right off the bat, I had an idea in mind. I assumed that we were going to strike gold with the R390 Road car. I was completely full-on headstrong in thinking that it was going to be more than good enough. Like, yeah, sure, I felt like I'd have to drive exceptionally well to win, but at the same time, I wasn't worried in the slightest. Oh, yeah, this is my very first lap with the R390, by the way. Driving relatively well, I might add, and look at the gap that's opening up. It looks like I forgot to get out of first gear. The fact that we couldn't even keep up with the Calibra, which is notoriously outmatched in this championship, yeah, we can definitely strike the R390 off completely. My immediate next move was to go and check America, because I knew there were still some beefy vehicles somewhere on the roster, and I hadn't really checked Vector. Here we have the 634 horsepower Vector W8, the Weiger, I don't know how you say it, I have no idea. Weighing at just over 3,400 pounds, this looked very promising. As we started off the race, we were very competitive in first gear, and then we upshifted, and it's clearly bugged, or the gearing was just done incorrectly, because we essentially come to a complete stop the moment we shift to second gear. The gear ratios are just horrible. I went a few steps further and did some testing by buying a fully customizable gear tune to see if you can even compete with proper settings, and to be honest, it's still just too damn slow. Beefy American muscle like this just simply needs racing tyres and a bit of weight reduction to be competitive. Very unfortunate. We already figured out earlier that RUF had nothing suitable on offer, and nowhere else had anything remotely close to suitable for the challenge. British sports cars were just simply too heavy in this game and really didn't bring enough horsepower to the table. At least not off the bat. France and Italy have nothing on offer outside of race cars. And of course we do have the Venturi, but surprisingly all of their cars are just terrible. Despite their lack of weight, they have no handling, and they don't seem to perform how their performance values, well, they don't perform how you'd expect from the performance values, let's put it that way. Yeah, we were quickly running out of options. Realistically, we only had Japan left to explore at this point, and after researching all the available prize cars in Gran Turismo 2 to find what the retailers were hiding from sale, we stumbled across the Japanese range of Mines uprated vehicles. These cars don't have any upgraded parts supplied, are heavy as hell, and don't come with racing socks supplied. You can really tell. But what these cars do have is four-wheel drive, and my god, you could tell at the start of each race. 600 horsepower being split between four wheels, combined with the second gear launch strat, we were moving. Remember way earlier in the video when I talked briefly about rubber banding, and not being certain on whether it's in the game or not? I now know it definitely is. On the emulator, when figuring out cars for this challenge, I created a car testing profile, and enabled a lap skip cheat to acquire all the cars from endurance races without spending hours doing so. I'm not going to waste all my time on this off stream when the challenge is already done. However, when testing the Mines Skylines, I forgot to disable the cheat and it left me ahead of the AI even though I started behind them, simply because we were starting several laps ahead. Makes sense, right? I couldn't keep with nor catch the AI no matter how well I was driving. At first I assumed the car just wasn't good enough, but then I realised I left the code on, so I quickly disabled it and tried it again, and considering we were overtaking cars way before the tunnel, this is very much the nail in the coffin of proof, in terms of proof that GT2 does have rubber banding. This was very normal for games at the time, but having to fight against rubber banding when I'm already at a massive disadvantage without that fact? Yeah, we were in for a rough time. Here is Mines' version of the R34 GTR. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, this car can't beat certain vehicles that show up as opponents. So even though it's pretty much the best car we have on offer, it still just isn't happening no matter how well you drive. So we had to lobby ship until the races were a tad more balanced. After about 6 or so hours of testing different road cars and pushing them to their limits, plus constantly practicing in a whole plethora of different vehicles to see if it was just a skill issue stopping me from winning, it was finally time for the final championship to begin. We had a car that could potentially do it, so let's get to it. Ladies, gentlemen, and anyone in between, the hardest races and the final championship is about to begin. My first full attempt at a championship was an incredibly tough experience. At this moment in time, I hadn't yet fully figured out which cars were impossible to beat overall. We knew we wouldn't be outpacing a Toyota GT1 anytime soon, but beyond that, things were a little bit up in the air. Race 1 left us against some of what we now know to be the tougher opponents in the league. And then there's the Lister Storm. Now the hunt for the R390 had begun, and in the hands of the AI, this car is a grand challenge to overcome in what we're currently driving. But a slightly dirty move within the first tunnel gives us the wide line on the approach to the tough right-hander. This then enables us to get the job done. Now we had a nigh-on impossible job of catching up to the Viper GTS race car. This car has phenomenal straight-line speed, paired with reasonable handling for a Viper. Our chances of catching up were pretty much slim to none. But no need to fear, Opel Calibra is here, and we'd make short work of that later. Bring it round! Okay, we're in a decent position. There's a high chance of it. No! Went pretty well, we might get second position here actually. Finally breaking a 122, but a high 123. Eh. At the start of each, or sorry, at the end of each race so I can get the replays. Just gonna send it. Oh my god, he's early on the brakes. Wasn't a very good drive from me, I must admit, as the Viper's closing in real fast. Okay. The start at Apricot Hill pretty much mirrored Trial Mountain, with the Lister Storm instantly being lost. Early fighting between the R390 and the Calibra through the corners presented an opportunity for us to go up the inside. We figured out quite early on that the hairpin at the bottom of the hill posed a grand opportunity for us, as the AI were very slow out of here. And with us having four-wheel drive, as I've previously mentioned, all we had to do was point the car in the right direction, floor it, and we were getting out of there a lot faster than everyone else. No handling! Get him out of here! Due to the fact that we pretty much take a straight line through the slalom whereas the AI goes slowly, we have a very easy time of keeping up with the AI. Even though the very first corner of the track after the straight, the tyres, well, you notice straight away we are sliding no matter what. Any misjudgment in speed here left us, well, pretty much in the dirt the entire way, and through the barrier and onto the next track. Fortunately though, we managed to keep it relatively clean. Now it's all about bringing it home, and can we do that? Yes, we can. There is the very first position of the championship. We were now tied in points with the Viper GTS, and we also had the Audi TT only 1 point behind us. And the following two races were about to get nigh on impossible. We really didn't have the advantage where we were going. Forced to keep the car moving in an orderly fashion. Get out the damn way. As they, oh my god, the R390 and the Viper merge into one, creating the Dodge R390 Viper GT1. I can't see. And the Viper got past me. Not for very long though. It is indeed short-lived. But it's short-lived again as we get back past. Oh, we have to choose who we're investing in. I'm investing in blocking the Viper. I can't see how long you've subbed for because there's a chat box in the way, but I do appreciate it, Lord Killer. Thank you very much, as the Viper's now getting past me again. We're getting nudged around everywhere. It's like we don't even exist to the AI. Too much sliding. Oh, a phenomenal lap time, but even then, we're still in the same position as we were before. Another very good lap time, and it's still, we're miles away. Is that faster than earlier's? Way more consistent than my driving earlier, and it's just miles away. Another 109, it seems. Woo! See the speed of that. Oh. Unfortunately, we simply fell short of the mark. All things considered, a 2-point gap between us and the Audi was decently respectable. I mean, when you consider the clear power difference between us and them, we worked hard. The Viper, however, was the clear victor. and we mentioned at the very beginning of the championship that the Viper would be a force to be reckoned with. But a 9-point gap over the course of 5 races with how hard we were fighting for first, it's pretty much clear we need to avoid the Viper in future. That's another car we need to dodge. Get it? I didn't let this loss knock my confidence though. I went in straight for the reset immediately and found some decently respectable opponents, but not too powerful, but still manageable ones. The dreaded Audi TT made a grand return starting in second. I doubt we'd be catching it this race. However, we had the Vector M12 and Celine SR immediately in front of us. They would both undoubtedly prove to be fortresses on wheels in terms of positions for us to overcome. They're not quite in the same league as the Viper or Toyota GT1, but don't think for a moment they don't command any respect. Ugh. Alpha knocked into the side of me there. Let's get him back, shall we? No. Oh. Huh? Just for that, you get the wall. Mid 123. Let's lock in and catch the Audi TT. Wasn't great, was it? Very low 123. We can still do better. An improvement upon previous championship attempts. I'll take it. And the Celine is bearing down on me. Oh, he really is. Oh, terrible. After unlocking 99 defense over the course of the race, we reasonably brought home a second position at Trial Mountain. This is the best start we've had so far to the championship, but unfortunately, the Audi was also finishing in first, which was potentially a sign of bad things to come. We needed to pull out all the stops or we'd just be facing a repeat performance of last time. Immediately following race 1, Laguna Seca would immediately prove to be troublesome. The Audi is once again starting in second position. And with the amount of times I've mentioned it by now, we all know how the four-wheel drive works, and what will be happening the moment the start happens. A rather ambitious and dirty move at the first hairpin slingshots us to second position immediately, but we'd need every single little bit of pace, luck, and road on... Okay, nah, but this Jaguar is just using me as a cushion. He's really getting his own back right here. Anyway, luck and road on our side to even have a sliver of hope to catch the leading Audi. Maximum attack and maximum driving ability from me wouldn't be enough. We'd somehow need to push beyond that. And lap after lap, we were knocking fractions of a second away from the gap between us, but the gap just reopened the moment a straight appeared. Once again, the skyline is just simply a bit too heavy. And even then, lap after lap, we were chipping away at the best lap. It seemed we were gaining no ground. I mean, look at it. We could almost reach out and grab the TT, and I realised that the only place we realistically had any time left to gain was within the corkscrew. A full send combined with confident use of the throttle could potentially launch us into the lead, and it ended in tears. Way too ambitious with that. This isn't GT7's corkscrew. Yes, we still maintained second position, but we were destined to remain here.
Big ass boy.
Forced into going late there. Come on, Skyline, we've got this. You thinking what I'm thinking? Well, damn. We were now 4 points behind the Audi, with 3 races left to go. As much as we were putting everything we'd learnt so far to use, it still wasn't proving to be enough so far. But fortunately, we were heading to our most favourable track. We're heading back to the legendary Apricot Hill once again. The race began and we immediately put the drivetrain to use, cutting straight in front of the Celine. The chase for first place is on as a ruckus develops between the Vector, Alpha and Jaguar. This allows us to immediately gain some easy places, but then the Celine makes an unexpected return in the rear view mirror and is quickly lost. Now we completely book it down the hill as the Vector is close behind us. An opportunity for a lunge up the inside of the Jaguar appears, but I didn't want to make contact, so we bail out. The Jaguar goes wide through several corners, and at the end of lap 1, we're already in second position. But as you can see, the Audi is already 2 seconds clear of us. During the early part of lap 2, I immediately get sandwiched between the Vector and the Celine. We lose a little bit of time here. At this moment in time, it wasn't looking like victory was on the cards right now. But we cannot let the Audi get another 2-point lead on us. Fortunately, the Audi is outrageously slow out of the bottom hill hairpin, as the AI often are. We were now within a much more palatable range to launch our offensive. I go for the usual straight line through the slalom, and ever so slightly cut off a little bit more than we should have done. This overcut barrels us into first position, but the early moments of lap 3 would be filled with a relentless battle to keep the Audi at bay. The Audi overtakes us, but as a consequence takes a very narrow line into the following right-hander, giving us plenty of room to line up and sweep in for the switchback. This as well wouldn't last long, however. It looked like the lap was going to be filled with a constant seesaw, back and forth bonanza. Somehow the Audi completely overcooks it and almost sends it straight off the track, but some late braking keeps it out of the dirt. We easily capitalise on this mistake, but it still wasn't over yet, as the Audi in true Audi driver fashion is right on the rear bumper. But the pressure gets him again. He's in the sand. We might just be in the clear. Finally, a much needed win against the Audi? Are we actually bringing this back? Back-to-back low 118s secure us a much needed win. They also give us the confirmation that maybe this championship isn't over yet after all. Well, we still got the win though. Gotta celebrate wins when they come. We are now level on points with the Audi. Both at 20. Hello, because I'm doing well, thank you. How are you? Okay, Audi starts pretty much in first position. That is awful news for us as he blasts off straight away with the 4-wheel drive power. Hopefully the Vector can hunt him down because we certainly can't. Got to keep the Celine behind me. That car completely outmaneuvers us around here. When in Rome, it's coming home. Hopefully that would prove true for us. Early skirmishing somehow led us to second position, but the rocket ship of an Audi was barely in view by the end of the first lap. I was toying with the idea of letting the Vector pass to hunt down the Audi. It was evident we wouldn't be catching it naturally, but if the two of them got caught up in a battle for first, this would likely slow them down and hopefully present some opportunities. View it as an investment, if you will. However, at the end of lap 2, disaster struck. I narrowly misjudged my braking zones and road positioning, which allowed the Celine to completely slip up my inside and use me as a cushion for the corner. Another second gained lap time wise, and we're still miles away. We don't get any closer to them. Why do they go faster when we go faster? Cheating buggers, that's why. Unfortunate, but another 121. With a single point separating us each way from the car in front and the car behind, everything would be settled in the final race. With 4 foot-to-the-floor races completed, the finale would decide glory or ruin. The lights were out and we had a terrible start. Somehow we're bogged down and going nowhere. There'll be no jumping the Celine this time around. But at the very first turn he goes wide. This isn't Rally Raid, my friend. Tarmac is your ally. The Alpha 155 decides to take the scenic route through the long sweeping section. Apex? Never heard of it, but we have. We'll be paving a straight line through it no problem and gaining places while we're at it. Third position already and we're only halfway through the first lap. No idea how, but the XJ220 has finessed the second position. You know what? Doesn't even matter right now. What matters is getting past him. We're already losing sight of the Audi and this just cannot continue. The XJ220 is very slow out of the long left-hander. This will likely present us an opportunity at the bottom of the hill potentially, or maybe even the main straight on the approach to the end of lap 1. But the Vector and Celine both make their grand reappearances right on my rear bumper, out of nowhere. Early knockings of lap 2, the Vector even manages to slip past us somehow out of nowhere. But just as quickly as they appeared, they now despawn and we can once again focus on closing the gap to the Audi. Hey, I'm not complaining. The gap between us and the Audi now is firmly within the low to mid 1 second range. This gap is consistently shrinking. Just have to keep it nice and tidy, focus on continuing to do whatever we're already doing. It's obviously working. A respectable 109 lap time allows for an absurd lunge from downtown. We make a light bit of contact with the Audi, but you know what? All bets are off. We've been wrecked and bashed around throughout the entire course of this championship and more by the AI. I reckon we'd earn a bit of forgiveness for this one.
But I do not care. Full on the attack. Here we go. Just get him out of here. Look at the distance now. But when they're ahead of you, they're gone. There's the 108.
Lap 4 concluded with a mega 108.5. This time surprised me so much that we almost sent it straight into the rally raid section that the Celine seemed to enjoy on the first lap. The Vector was once again popping back with a vengeance, and I was starting to feel the pressure as subtle mistakes were popping up all throughout the lap. We just needed to bring it home.
We're going to be Gandalfing up in here.
You shall not pass!
Here we go. A sprint to the finish. That should be it in the bag. Finish line comes sooner. There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, can you beat Gran Turismo 2 without upgrading any cars? At all. Not even using race cars. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Okay. 2 hours and 20 minutes of doing the same races over and over again. Not including this morning of 4 hours. The R34 Skyline GTR from Mines. Woo! That's gonna be some content right there. That is going to be some content. Look at that. Breaking the 108 as well. What a beauty. Give me the money. And the trophy. 150 grand for that. Feels a little bit underwhelming if I'm honest. New car acquired. What did we win then? Congratulations, you are the world champion. Check your bonus items on the arcade mode disc. Bold of you to assume I have the arcade mode disc. We won the... Oh my word. So here we are. Here's the winning car. 618 horsepower, 3,400 pounds, 4-wheel drive. And it's crazy because this here, the Ford GT40, is far easier to win the championship with. But when it's got 1,200 pounds less, you know, it makes sense. That is going to be everything from me for today. I'll be back to editing tomorrow and whatever, and I should be able to get this Gran Turismo challenge out before April, believe it or not. But no, thank you all very much for watching. It's not ending. Let me be free.
Hello there, it's that time once again. It's time to thank all of my YouTube members. Thank you very much, guys. I do appreciate you all. The fact that so many of you have stayed pledged, even though we are making videos every month to 2 months at this point. It's taking a while, isn't it? Let's be real. In all honesty, you're all helping make it possible, and I couldn't be more grateful. And an extra special thank you goes out to our God Mode tier members, the Because and Nexit. Thank you both for that. And if anybody else wants to become a member to help support the channel, and also gain some exclusive perks at the same time, the link is in the description or on the channel homepage. Lastly, do be sure to catch us over on the Twitch channel if you want to see any of these challenges live. I also restream to the TGD Extra channel, so if you want to catch the VODs, you can see them over there. And on that note, see you later.